Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got Eduard's 72nd scale Spitfire Mk.VIII in a Profi pack. Very nice it looks too, so as you can see, nice box art there showing it, I think, over North Africa. Okay, in that lovely sort of North Africa colour. So this is the Mk.VIII, which has got the extended wingtips on it as well, so you can see a nice kit indeed. Okay, some of your marking options. So obviously being a Profi pack, we do get a few options down in there, so we've got various ones. We'll look at those in a moment. Kit number for this one is 70129. A little bit more round on there. So in the box, bearing in mind this is 72nd scale, we have, we can just kind of hold that up. See, we have clear parts on a little rosette, as I call them. Okay, got one bag. It's these new, not rustly bags, foily type bags. Okay, that gives you an idea of the scale of it, just down in there. Got a little set of instructions. Okay, being the Profi pack, obviously we get a colour photo etch, just like that. We get a mast set, which is very happy, and obviously we got the decals. So, instruction wise, we can see now, obviously, just like any Spitfire family, there is a few of them around. All right, so obviously there's lots of parts you're not going to be using, so it might be worth identifying and familiarizing yourself exactly which ones you're going to be using, especially the clear parts. Okay, because again, lots of them down there. You've got your color call outs down here as well. Okay, but straight into it, small on scale, definitely not on detail. Okay, so we've got the seat, obviously different armor plating depending which versions you're doing. Got your harnesses that are going to be going down in there, and then obviously bringing it all together. So we got the actual harnesses being fitted onto this one, and you've got your control column being in there, the instrument panel. Remember, you're going to be replacing the molded detail one, because obviously you're not going to use the decal one, I thought, with your colour photo etch one. Got the gun sight being fitted down onto there, and even you've got your brake lever being fitted onto the control column, and then obviously all the details making up the cockpit just down in there. Okay, side walls, obviously taking care of those. Depending if you're going to be open or closed, you might have to nick out some little parts on there as well. Rudder pedals being fitted into that cockpit. Okay, and then basically bringing it all together. All right, so again, we've got these little areas down in front of the leading edges of the wings being fitted down into it, bulkheads, things like that being fitted down, as you can imagine. Fully details are showing you exactly where. Wheel well system being fitted down into this one on the lower wing section, and the parts being put on, and then your top wings being fitted on the top. Okay, engine cowlings being fitted onto this one, the bar being fitted behind the actual armour plating, and the wing sections coming up. These extended little winglets on the outside, okay, and the ailerons being fitted in, and then obviously you've got rudder and tail planes being on their wheels, various things as you might imagine. Front end obviously being the sort of with the extra radiator cooler underneath, being the top version, and then obviously photo etch parts being fitted as and where. Okay, radiators all going underneath this one, and then that centre one going up underneath, as you can see. Wheels being fitted down onto this one, gear going on, and then radiators if you want them in the open or closed versions, as you can see. Prop, and then front windscreen, rear mirror, and then obviously it's got down in here various details around the door, and then showing you the actual lineup with the gear and how it should actually be. Okay, and then over on here, depending if you're doing open or closed, with the actual canopies being fitted onto this one. And lastly, you've got a little bit of photo etch down in here for drilling out, for actually putting the pitot tube on. Mask guide for actually doing the masking and for the lights as well. And then obviously we've got our call out. So down in here we've got Sicily, 92 Squadron in 1943. Okay, so very nice indeed. You can see down in there with that lovely sort of Azores blue with the stone. Okay, right the way over it. We've got one squadron over in Italy as well. Okay, in the more traditional grey and green. We've got another one down in here from India in 1944, okay, and then we've got another one in here for Italy from 32 Squadron in 1944 as well, with the more the sort of recon colours, okay, and then we've got the famous US one as well in Italy, 1944, okay, being fitted down onto this one. Again, small, not on detail, lots of little stencil data and all your points, as you might imagine, right the way underneath this one. And as always with these ways, seems to be the new way of doing it, which is quite nice actually. I'm quite taken with it. you've got all your options for some of your aftermarket. So you can have a look at this and think to yourself, you know what, we will open up and do the guns. You know, we can do extra work in the cockpit, and then down on here you've got things down in here like cockpit and cowlings, gun barrels, wheels, all the various other bits and pieces that makes up the actual Spitfire family, which you can use on this particular one. So again, small little booklet, so lots to see down in there. So you're in Decals. If we start in these, again, only because I want to know if this is their new type or their old type. Okay, so I think these may be the newish type. I'm not sure. And when I say that is that it seems to be, and I'm going to say this generically, some of their kits have got their new decals which are done by themselves as opposed to old ones which are done. Okay, now this one I'm not too sure on. They look very matte, so when we look at the sort of close-up on them, as you can see, they look very matte as if they're the new type, but these are done by Eduard in 2019, and I thought the crossover was 2020, so I'm not too sure if these are the new ones or the old ones. They don't tell you, so it's a little bit of a pain. Basically, just a quick thing here. There's two ways you can use a decal: as a traditional decal, or you can use it like a transfer type decal, i.e. you put the decal on, let it completely dry, conform to its bit, and then take off the carrier film, because the carrier film on their decals now is on the top, not on the bottom. So yeah, it's one of those things. Now, it's very much hit and miss if you like them or not. It seems to be a little bit like Marmite. I've used them recently and had a real problem with them. But then the other decals, I had no problem with them. Yeah. Anyway, I'll make your own minds up on these. Generally, they look very nice. Good colour. Interesting colour with the roundel there with the orange. I've never seen that before. But obviously it is correct. Very nice indeed. We do get these ones as well just down in here. These are definitely the old type. Look at them, you can see what I mean about the carrier film. The carrier film is more pronounced on the earlier ones than it is the later ones, and also this is 2017. Okay, we've got colour cutout, die cutout. You can probably just see it through. There's not a lot of point getting out. Marset, and we do get a very nice bit of photo etch with all the details down in there, as you can see. So we've got the harnesses. You've got obviously the important instrument panels, but also you've got the armour and the radiators and things like that as well, which gives it a really nice scale effect with that one. Okay, so if we start with a big sprue. Okay. So again, there's a lot of generic parts in these, so you can make your own mind up with them all, as you can see. Very nice parts right the way through, looking good. Usual thing, no sign of flash, good, clean, crisp. But the big thing that always blows you away every single time, and it never ceases to amaze me, is the detail. The riveting detail on this in 72nd scale is absolutely beautiful. Eduard, Armour Hobby, two companies that have just got it right in this scale. You know, no matter what they tend to do, it's really very, very nice indeed. So as you can see there on the top of that wing, how gorgeous this detail all is. And then obviously down in here on the underside, you can see all that riveting. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Here's the other wing. And again, you catch it in the light there, it just absolutely pops. Top fuselage. And again, you have got lots of generic parts with these. But again, from an engineering point of view, beautiful clean mould. Very, very nicely done. See, just see the tooling markings down in there. Very, very nice. Again, there's not a lot to see really on the inside, purely because obviously you've got all the stuff that's going to make it up. All right, so very, very nice indeed. Whilst we're here, we have got obviously wingtips and aileron tailplanes. So as you can see, we'll be going with these ones on the Mark 8, which have the extended wingtips, or you've got the standard Spitfire ones. If you had the clipped in here, you'd have them all. And obviously different types of the actual tailplane as well. Okay, so make your decisions and your choices and you're good to go. But again, when you're looking at the location tabs on these, you can probably see how they're sort of teed and shaped, which is, remember, when you look at the tips of the wings, we just jump back here, you can see how a nice positive fit that will be into there. So again, very, very nicely done. And again, we've even got more tailplanes, and you've got different types of ailerons on here as well. And again, all fully riveted and detailed and looking fantastic. Okay, our other bag contains more details and obviously our weapon things and bits down in here. And this is what we were talking about with obviously different types of Spitfires right the way through. On this one, as you can see, we've got lots of common type parts. So you can see from the bulkheads, take your pick. So obviously make sure you've got your right one. That's what we're saying about this one. Okay, but you can see glorious detail on all these parts with the engines, with the shrouds, 3 different types of side doors, fuel tanks, belly tanks, obviously for the Spit, the medium and the long, different types. You say you've got everything in here. It makes you wonder how many different versions you could do. But you can see, actually all of it is good, clean, crisp, very nicely done on that one. Okay, down in here, obviously we've got the wheels, so obviously different tyres, tyre configurations, things like that. We've got the fuel tanks, bombs, various things. The inner, obviously for the centres, for the hubs, spinner, prop, wheel wells, and then we've got that interior detail just down in here for the cockpit. Very, very nice indeed, and no problem at all. Last up, we've got the clear parts. So, usually on these, I'm not a fan because they usually come off. Oh look, there's the clip type. So that's all the types of wings in here, because this is the clip wings. So as you can see, beautiful, clean. I'd need my magnifiers on to properly get a good look. You've got a better look on camera than I've got my naked eye of these. But that actually looks very, very nice indeed. No problem. And there you have it. I have to say, and I'll be honest, I've never built one of their kits, but seeing it, and as I have just done the Armour Hobbies Hurricane, I am thinking it'd be quite nice to do a little baby Spitfire to go along with the Hurricane. And again, this is the first time I've seen any of their 72nd scale Spitfires, heard about them clearly, and everyone says they're beautiful, lovely kits, go together really, really well, and the detail is amazing. Now I've seen it, I know what they're on about, because they really are that good. And again, it's one of those things, the smaller you get, the more that the detail needs to be in scale. You can't get away with it like some companies do in 48 scale and just like, yeah, well, I know it's a bit big, but because obviously for washing and weathering, if they can do it, anybody can do it. And again, with them and Armour Hobby doing detail as they do, I think they sort of cornered the market in 72nd scale stuff for detail, because it is right on there, right on par, and you know you're not going to be disappointed with that actual build. Tons of detail in a very, very small box as well. So there we go. That is Eduard's 72nd scale Propy Pack Spitfire HF Mk.VIII.